This is Ted. Say hi to Ted. Ted, you have a hard time messing. So I cut his thing off, took everything off him. It's my Ted, my personal pet. My Ted, my best friend. He comes alive too, no joke. For real. I won't throw you like that. I'm sorry, Ted. What's up, everybody? It's Joey J. What's going on? Thursday, and officially my weekend has started, and little vacay coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. And my title, as you see, is John Moxley, and you all know who John Moxley is, Dean Ambrose. And I'll tell you why Dean Ambrose is the future of the WWE. I'm not gonna, keep everybody here long today, but I'm gonna be on a little vacay or something like that next week. So I'm not gonna have a lot of shows next week. So that's why I did one just about I did one everyone this week. But there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to make it, trying to get money. I ain't trying to be a YouTuber for life. I'm trying to make it to Stamford, Connecticut. But anyway, Dean Ambrose has just got it all. He's the future face. Out of all the Shield members, it seems everywhere I look, they always have Reigns or Rollins #1, and they always have Ambrose last. I've seen Dean Ambrose has been in every indie there is, just like Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson's his real name. Just like Daniel Bryan. Just like him. He feuded with, in the indies, that was Bryan Danielson's name, was his real name, Bryan Danielson, the king of the indies, the dragon. That was his nickname in the indies. And Dean Ambrose fought him, and Dean Ambrose can cut them crazy ass promos that are real, like showing them at home in Cincinnati, saying this used to be my corner, how he had a real life feud with Homicide, whatever his real name is in real life, he's Puerto Rican. And he said, yeah, Homicide got locked up and I took over his corner, and one day he's going to get out, and he's going to want his corner back. And John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, said, I'd start moving my own product. I don't know what he was talking about, if it was dope, coke, weed, wet, whatever, you know what I mean? And Dean Ambrose, I call him John Moxley. That's his real name. I respect him. I call him John Moxley. I met him at plenty of indie shows. I call him John. But I'm talking about Dean Ambrose. He's a great guy, and he's got it all. He's got Stone Cold Steve Austin in him. He don't care about authority. He don't care. You see him. He just does not care. If this wasn't a PG era, you would see him smoking a cigarette, because he does smoke. You would see him, because I heard him on the internet talk about it. He would come to the ring smoking a cigarette like he did in the indies. He would be flipping people the bird. Worse than Steve Austin. He'd be on the mic. You talk about pipe bombs. You watch some of this stuff. You go on the internet on YouTube and you click anything John Moxley. Dean Ambrose, you're going to get the WWE, and when he was in FCW and NXT, which is basically PG. You know what I mean? But you still get a pretty good taste in NXT and FCW that, he's still great in the WWE, and he's going to get even greater. I'm telling you, he's the future face of the company. And I'm not talking bad guy. I'm not talking like Triple H, his reign of terror in 2002 to 2005. I'm talking about Dean Ambrose. I mean, storyline-wise, he will be the baby face, but he's not going to be like a heel, or he's just going to be the lunatic fringe. Dean Ambrose, he's crisp. You should see his promos, like the one he says about his girl. He's like, I'm not a bad guy. I never needed nobody's help, and I never will. He's like, I like this girl a lot, and she had to get up real early, and she was studying for a test, and she had a dog. It was a boxer. It was a real nice dog. And it was barking real loud, and I just wanted her to do good, so I blew its fucking head off. And I'm a bad guy. I mean, just the promos, the guy, you know what I mean? I mean, that was a cheesy one I just did, but the promos the man does is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? He's crazy, and now he's on the loose. He escaped from the mental institution. That's the storyline. You know what I'm saying? The real behind the scenes is he's making a movie. Well, it's already done. It's putting the touch. It's called Lockdown, and I think he's the prisoner. I mean, he looks like a prisoner. I mean, he acts like a prisoner. You know what I'm saying? And he is. I mean, Punk's gone, and Randy Orton's my favorite wrestler, but Cena faded out like 3 years ago. I respect the guy. I still like him. You know what I mean? It was nice to see him beat The Rock in WrestleMania 29. Bad habit, but I'm just like Dean Ambrose. I like to smoke. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like watching me smoke cigarettes or, don't watch it. I know when I get up in Stanford, I ain't going to be able to smoke on WWE TV. But I don't want to be on WWE TV. I want to be in the back writing a creative story. And here's one thing real quick to get off the Dean Ambrose subject. What do you call it? Is the Xavier Woods, as I was talking, they did come up with a storyline. How amazing it is, like an hour afterwards, I look on the internet, in dark matches on house shows, they've had Big E, Kofi, and I don't know why Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Consequences Creed from TNA, is their leader with talking. I don't understand why Kofi wouldn't be their leader. And I would bring like a R-Truth who's been a heel, who knows how to be a heel, and is a good heel. R-Truth's one of my favorite wrestlers. I like R-Truth. They hold him down. He's 43 years old. You know what I mean? He's not no young buck. He's 43 years old, R-Truth. I mean, he can go, too. I've seen him at indie events. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, it was a Ring of Honor. The matches that man's had. I remember him seeing a promo of him laying down on the floor when Batista after Batista was in the wheelchair that time, after Cena threw him off the thing, and Bret Hart said, you got to face Randy Orton tonight, or else you're fired. And Batista said, I'll quit, this show won't be done. And he quit the first time, not this second time where he went like this year. I'm talking 2010, May of 2010, yeah. After Over the Limit 2010, somewhere around there, and he quit. And Jon Moxley, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose, is laying in the back like this. And one of the guys one of the promoters of XPW said, you're the XPW world champion. XPW, holds about maybe 200, 300 people at their events. But hey, look at Dean Ambrose now. Jon Moxley, look at him now. That's his real name, Jon Moxley. Type up Jon Moxley. You can type up Dean Ambrose on the internet, but Jon Moxley will show you his talent. The man is talented. The WWE, unless he does something crazy, which he is a loose cannon like Brian Pillman. He reminds me of Brian Pillman a lot. But he's been in every company. And like I said, XPW only held 200, 300 people. But he was laying in the back and he was saying, I want Batista. And they were like, Batista's retired. And this was in 2010. He was still in the Indies in 2010. That was 4.5 years ago. He was wrestling for XPW. He was the world champion for a little company, an indie company. But hey, he was doing his thing. He wasn't getting paid that much, but he was the champion. I mean, the promos. Now, you just got to go back and watch the promos he's cut on Scotty Vortex, on Colt Cabana, on Bryan Danielson, saying, I want Bryan Danielson's head on a platter. I mean, he's just crazy. He's the lunatic fringe. And the storyline they came up with now is so great because they're making it look like, Triple H, we'll never see him again. Triple H, Dean Ambrose is the best talent, youth talent you got right now. You do not want to piss that dude off because he will. He'll go somewhere else and fight. He'll go in MMA. He might not know how to fight. He'll go to something fighting violent and make it because that dude can rip somebody's head off and not with his hands. He'll rip your head off with his teeth. He will. He'll rip you to shreds, Dean Ambrose. And that's one guy that would go in and give Brock Lesnar a fight. I mean, I don't know. Dean would probably get the shit beat out of him in the long run, but I think he would give him a better fight than John Cena, but Dean is green yet. Even though Dean is the oldest of the Shield, the former Shield. But I think Dean's way better than Roman Reigns. I mean, in the ring, definitely on the mics. He's the best out of the Shield on the mic. He's one of the best in the WWE on the mic, period. I mean, Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. I call him Jon Moxley, but of course the WWE Universe knows him as Dean Ambrose. So, I mean, I'll dress him as Dean, but it's hard because I met the guy a couple times, and his name's John, and I call him John. You know what I mean? I mean, because I'm Joe Ganna, and if my name was, I don't know, just name a name, Phil Brooks, you know what I mean? And that was my stage name, Phil Brooks, but, I don't want people to call me Phil right now. I want them to call me Joe, or G, or Ganna, whatever. You know what I mean? Something like that. Call me by Joey. Call me something by my real name. I don't want my stage name. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I call him John. But I do a show, so I'm going to try to call him Dean as much as I can. But he's unbelievable. I mean, he might not have all the muscles in the world. You can maybe my muscles. Getting nice. Like I said, I was skinny for a little while. But, this is not good for you. Like I said last night, cigarettes are not good. I just like to smoke, and it eases me out. It relaxes me more when I'm on camera. I'm being honest. I'm an honest guy. I won't lie about a thing. You know what I mean? Like with wrestling, if it's a rumor, I'll tell you. If it's true, I'll tell you. If it's a lie, I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Like I said about Vince and Shane McMahon, they care a lot about their business. They'll do anything. You see the bumps. You see what Stephanie has done. Stephanie don't have to go out there and wrestle. I mean, she's the friggin' billion-dollar princess. And what did she do? She went out there and had a match with Brie Bella. And 2 weeks before that, kicked both of their asses on Monday Night Raw with 2 good pedigrees, better than friggin' Hunter gives them. Or Paul. I call him Paulie with the big nose. For real. Dean Ambrose, the future. I mean, straight up. People say Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns would be a good heel. And the perfect way to do it, Roman Reigns, I think, would be to have him and Brock Lesnar in a match. Not at WrestleMania. Give him a match at Survivor Series. I don't know. It's booked for Survivor Series to be him and Batista. But, you know, maybe I haven't heard nothing, though. I mean, that was only on two websites. On every other website, they're saying they don't know who he's going to face. But he's not going to lose the belt to Cena, so all the Cena haters can not wear. I'm a Cena critic. I like the guy, but he sucks right now. I thought he was going to turn back to the thug, you know, word life. But, you know, I don't see it happening. He's coming down with some red shirt. I don't even know what the hell's on it now. His pants are getting shorter and shorter, you know. He used to come down with them long, nice and baggy. And like I said, I mean, I got so much time to talk about John Cena. One day I am going to dedicate a show, like 3 shows in a row to him, and just talk about his good times and his bad times and everything in between. But right now, I think the plan is with Dean Ambrose, they're going to put the Intercontinental title on him because he had the U.S. title for 300 and I think it was like 14 days, maybe, no, 341. It was almost a year he had the United States title. And now with only 1 world championship, the U.S. title does mean something. I mean, Sheamus, before Sheamus, it was Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose will hold the Intercontinental title, I think, next time. That'll be the next belt he gets. I think we'll hold that for a while. And I'd say in about maybe 2 years, by WrestleMania 33, I think, or little before WrestleMania, between WrestleMania 32 and 33, he'll become the WWE World Champion. There's no doubt in my mind. Joey G knows his shit. Ask anybody out there that's friends with me, that used to be friends with me, that knows Joey G, Joey Gana, knows my wrestling. I'm telling you, Dean Ambrose, the lunatic fringe. The crazy man who escaped from the loony bin, who's really filming a movie, but that's a good storyline. You know what I mean? Triple H. Oh, I don't know if we'll ever see Dean Ambrose again. Triple H, you're a big nose. Ugh. Where would you be if it wasn't for Shawn Michaels and if you didn't bang Stephanie McMahon? For real. And China said you had a small weenie anyway, you chump, but you got a big-ass nose. Also, to all my former buddies in the NWO, big shout-outs to Chris Andriaccio, Nick Gazzi, Billy Flippo, all Pimp Paul Fury, Paul Griffith. Rest in peace to my former best friend Dave Daly, Ira, the whole NWO crew. You know what I'm saying? Dave Shepard, no hard feelings, NWO for life, Mark Nardone, the Flippos, all of us. We were NWO for life and we ran roughshod. Mike Hockey, Kurt, I still talk to Kurt, what's up? All my homies. Ansel, for life. We ran that shit and we run it. Remember, we ran it, Chris. We did. Me, you, and David Daly. We ran it. The original Wolfpack. Right there. Andriaccio, Gannon, and Daly. Wolfpack. Alright? Dean Ambrose, lunatic fringe. He will be the man. Mark my words. This is Joey G and I'm out. Peace.